Hello everyone, welcome back to CST Online Learning with Miss Shafa. How are you today? I hope you are doing fine. Don't forget to wash your hands frequently and stay at home. It's good for your health, okay? Now let's continue our lesson. Please open your student's book, page 45. Okay, I'd like to remind you, do you still remember the pattern of present perfect? Yes, subject plus have or has plus verb 3. For example, I've ever traveled abroad 3 times. This is the example for the affirmative sentence or positive sentence. I haven't traveled abroad. This is the negative sentence. Good. And for the question, have you ever traveled abroad? Okay. And what if I change the subject into she? Yes, it becomes she has ever traveled abroad 3 times. For the negative, she hasn't traveled abroad. And for the question, has she ever traveled abroad? Okay. So when you use present perfect, you are talking about an experience without mentioning the specific time in the past. So when you say I've traveled abroad 3 times, you don't say to the audience, when is it the 3 times? Is it last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or even 10 years ago? You just say your experience, but you don't mention the specific time. Now for the past simple, this is the pattern: subject plus verb 2 or past verb. For example, I traveled abroad last year. Now you can see the difference, right? When you use past simple, you mention the specific time, last year. And don't forget, in here you have to use verb 2. Okay. So, if we can conclude, for the present perfect, we use it to talk about an experience at any time in the past. Pengalaman kapanpun itu yang terjadi di masa lampau. You don't mention the specific time. While for the past simple, it's to talk about a specific occasion or a specific event in the past. Now take a look to the example. I've been to London. In this sentence, you don't mention the time, right? You just mention that I've been to London. But when is it? When was it? There is no time. But when you use past simple, you mention the time. I went to London last year. So it's clear that you went there last year. In here, you use verb 2 of go, which is went. While in the present perfect, you use verb 3 of go, which is been. Okay. Now, we often use the present perfect to ask and answer questions about an experience, and then the past simple to give more information about the details. For example, have you ever been to Japan? And then B answered, yes, I have. I went there last summer. So you can combine the usage, of course. Present perfect is used when you ask question about an experience. And because the question is in the present perfect form, you also have to answer it in the perfect form by saying, yes, I have. But when you give the detailed information, of course you want to tell the person you are speaking to, right? When did you go to Japan? Like that, right? Now, when you mention about the details, you use past simple. I went there last year. So this is the detailed information about the question. Have you ever been to Japan? Yes, I have. I went there last year. Okay. Have you understood my explanation? I hope so. Okay then. Now for your own practice, I want you to complete your student's book on page 45 and then continued with workbook page 40. Okay? Thank you very much for listening to me. Stay happy and healthy. See you on the next lesson. Goodbye.